Welcome to my growing plot. Over here we have a billy that we grew from a single leaf, and you can see how massive it has grown. So this is grown in a grow bag, which allowed it to grow so huge even though it didn't climb. And we are going to propagate this beautiful specimen later today, so stay tuned. Here's a 360 of this beautiful specimen. Look at the variegation on this guy. Okay, I'm very bad at propagating this stuff, so I've enlisted the help of my neighbor, Rayson from Foliage Concierge.
I will help you cut this Billietiae.
Okay, let's hope it goes well.
Okay. So I'll be cutting a cut here because there is a really long root and this root can be rooted. So, and this leaf is quite a nice leaf. That's why I don't want to damage this leaf. So I will take a cut here.
Okay, let's go. So he has a very sharp scalpel. He has very kindly changed a brand new blade for me so that we don't injure the plant too much and we don't cause an infection.
But it's huge eh?
It's super thick.
Yeah.
We are slowly going through it. It's a very, very tough plant.
Let's cut from here.
So when we are cutting the plant, what we want to do is to keep the good leaves, ensure there's enough roots on the plant, and at the same time we want to try to avoid the eye as much as possible, because an eye is where a new plant will grow out of, and that's the fastest way for a plant to recover. Just be careful and don't cut yourself.
I won't cut myself.
We are almost cutting through.
Whoa, yes!
Done, man.
Look!
Perfect.
Yeah!
Thank you. Okay, so Rayson has very kindly offered to dab it with some powder.
It's a rooting powder that helps the plant to not rot the place, so that it ensures better propagation.
Yeah, so it heals properly.
And it also helps to dry the wound.
So now Rayson is behind the camera, and I'm going to try propagating this myself. So we have a very, very nice leaf over here, so we want to preserve that as much as possible, and we need to find a viable root, which is going to be this guy. So I'm going to make an incision here. This is really a very, very tough plant. Oh, I see there's an eye there. Let me try to go below the eye so I get two viable nodes. So I think when propagating, it's very important not to be too greedy and cut it down to one leaf. So I think we have all experienced buying a plant that is a single leaf, and then after that we realize that the eye is damaged and ends up being non-viable, and then the plant basically forever stays in a single leaf mode. Ooh, that was dangerous.
Yo, that's cool.
Yeah. Whoops. So now he has got his hair cut.
Yeah.
So this is the substrate that we mix. We have some pumice over here. They give good aeration and decent amount of weight. Then we have large perlite. These are the large perlite that really gives very good aeration. It prevents compaction. And below it we have zeolite. This maintains the nutrients inside of our substrate. We have this because we basically keep watering our plants to give good aeration, and that also washes away both the good and the bad substances. So zeolite will help to hold on to the nutrients for the plants to grow. So lastly, we have small cocoa chip. It's very important to use small cocoa chip and not regular cocoa chip. That's because a small cocoa chip will not turn anaerobic so easily. So a lot of people think that the bigger the chunks, the better. But when it comes to cocoa chip, you imagine that if this was one single piece of cocoa chip, at the center of it, then there is not going to be any aeration, there's no oxygen within the cocoa chip itself. Then the root rod can start within a single cocoa chip, and that's how you get root rod by using poorly designed substrates. So this is the secret to our mix. One other thing we add to our substrate is root mana. So basically this is humic acid and probiotics. Oh, this one has been out here for too long, it turned into a lump, but I'm not worried about it. This will dissolve and it will basically provide micronutrients and also help the plant to acclimatize after being propagated. Okay, so now after mixing, we have a mix that looks something like this. You have all the substrates dispersed through a matrix of cocoa chips, and now we are ready to repot. So this is the medium-sized grow bag that we have just released. It's available on our website, and we are going to put the billy straight into this. So now that we have folded the grow bag, what we do is we put a layer of substrate underneath before we put the plant in. So this is the GrowPole 3.0, and we have the soil anchors pulled out. We put a large perlite. You can put a cocoa chip or anything just to keep it open. So this allows the roots to grow out from the back at the bottom, and this will really help to secure the pole within the grow bag. This prevents it from falling over when the wind blows or when basically the plant gets heavier. So we use a U-shaped pin to keep the plant stabilized until it is rooted in. Then we cover it with more substrate. Okay, here comes my favorite part of propagating or doing any plant chores, which is to water thoroughly. There's a bird bathing in my plot. So this is a finished propagation of our billy. So a lot of people must be wondering why I don't put it into water for propagation or into perlite. And the reason is the plant doesn't really need to do that. With a grow bag, you maintain a lot of moisture and a lot of airflow within it. So long as it stays moist, the plant is going to do well. And that's the experience we have had growing over the past 2.5 years.
Thank you for watching our first YouTube video. If you learned something new, please like, share and subscribe. It will really help us to make more content in the future. Thank you.